Yes.
I'm glad, Minister, to hear you speak those words and speak them so genuinely. So, because these people that have been, their lives have been upturned, jobs, generations of families. I stay in one in your own constituency in Bray, you know where it is, with family business employing 250 people. And they want to keep those people. I was there last night, see, they still have 30, 40 people because they have loyalty to their customers and back and forward, and I salute them. But I hope that you have said this to Pascal Donohoe, Minister Donohoe and Minister McGrath, because the budget is on Tuesday and they need funding. Whether you have to get it from Europe or wherever, they need supports. Minister, I also want to ask you, have you any interest or intent, maybe not interest is the wrong word, but intent, of reforming and revamping NEFIT? We see the NHS across the water in England have totally revamped NEFIT. Look, 7 months has gone in since this team were pulled together, and I salute the work and Tony Hoover and wish him and his family well as well, in case anybody think otherwise. But they need some maybe change and revamping, because the fiasco of the weekend wasn't pleasant, because people's livelihoods are depending on it. And the other question I have, you know what I mean, we need to revamp that, and I think 40 is too many, way too many. We need industry, people from self-employment, people from mental health associations. Have you made any calculation as to the damage and the cost and the damage to people's health, mental, physical? I could name all the different checks that have been postponed. The mothers giving birth and having bad outcomes, and the parents, the siblings or their partners not allowed in. And the third question then. There are a number of people have offered solution testing, much cheaper than what is happening for. And you gave the answer to my colleague of mine earlier, or somebody else, I think Deputy Shannon, that it's the HSE dealing with that. It's too cumbersome, it's too slow. We saw the people that volunteered for Ireland, the army, the different specialties, and they've all been left. Some of them lost their jobs now because they came home. They only employed a minuscule amount of them. So are they keeping the position for themselves? And is there a closed shop? I know people that have gone with testing situations that are much cheaper, much quicker, and they haven't even gone looking. So there's something wrong in the HSE that's not engaging with these people. We need everybody with any idea of any good system to be engaged with now. So you might answer those 3 questions, please.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Deputy. You might come back to me, sorry, and I was taking notes on your final question, which was testing. There are good solutions out there, rapid testing, antigen testing. It is being looked at. NEFIT considered a paper on it today, and they are going to now do what they call validation of it, so run it side by side with PCR testing, which is the accepted gold standard. I'd like to see it deployed, but obviously we have to get the nod in terms of validation. The HSE is working with companies. They are engaging with companies, and HICWE took a pretty broad look. The Department of Transport is also looking at rapid testing potential solutions for the airports, because there's going to need to be a lot of testing when we go on. I don't know that there is a delay, Deputy. Like, various countries are testing it. There's a pilot in Heathrow Airport going on at the moment, for example. We're looking at it. NEFIT had it today. They are engaging. I would hazard an estimate that it will be deployed in the future as part of the airport testing, for example. But again, we'll have to have it validated by the health experts. And then in terms of hiring, the HSE is hiring over 3,000 people on the testing and contact tracing. And I beg your pardon, will you remind me of your first question?
Would you revamp and revitalise and re-energise NEFIT? They've all been at the coalface and working very hard, but the NHS have done a huge, because after 7 months, surely things can be done differently, and the experts can be brought in there.
Thanks. Deputy, given the fluidity of the situation and the fact that we are learning all the time, that suggestion should be kept under consideration all the time. Certainly what I want to see, and what, when we launched the framework, was brought in was an oversight committee with representation from other departments like business and transport and foreign affairs and other places as well, to try and do that. But should we have as much broad and rounded experience from the very best women and men in this country feeding into what is a national effort? Absolutely we should.